Excavation on the new Irvington Water Tunnel, about an hour's drive southeast of San Francisco, ended much like it started, with the slow, persistent grinding away of the ground.
Both road headers came together inside the mountain, about 700 feet deep, approximately 2 miles from this heading at the Alameda West Portal and about 5,000 feet in from Vargas. And we almost hauled through within 100 feet of the existing tunnel that's over 81 years old that we paralleled.
The hole-through completes 2.5 years of conventional mining by 3 battle-weary road headers and work crews that persevered under extreme conditions.
We had squeezing ground, we had highly variable ground, flowing ground where we had to put breastboards up, and really a lot of grouting to get this thing done, all the way up to about 150 feet between the two tunnels.
In fact, the last 200 feet on both sides was flowing ground. As we closed into the hole-through station. And then the last 30 feet of that 200 feet was actually hard rock that we had to shoot.
Groundwater was a major issue throughout excavation, with flowing features all along the alignment, requiring more than 7.8 million pounds of pre-excavation grout.
The groundwater varied from a little bit, about 25 gallons per minute, on up to several hundred gallons per minute. There were times we probed out and we were getting between 200 and 300 gallons per minute for each probe hole. So the groundwater really hurt us in terms of slowing down the production, in terms of the days were dedicated to pre-excavation grouting.
Another major challenge was the gassy classification of the tunnel, which meant all the equipment had to pass strict government-imposed safety guidelines, which saw the road headers used for mucking even when they weren't mining.
Even when we were drilling and blasting, they had to be used as an excavator because of the gassy classification and the fact that they were permissible. So it wasn't like we could have conventional overshot muckers or anything like that. Even the ST5s on the Irvington side had to be permissible, which were difficult to find and expensive.
Then there was the sheer distance of the conventionally mined drive.
Your conventional mining is not done on a daily basis in this country any longer like the way we performed this job. It was very, very difficult. Number one, to train crews. At one time I had as many as, 130 union hands on this job, and, it took a lot, and we went through a lot of people to try to get those crews down to where they performed on a daily basis and were able to produce, and yet produce safely.
The highly variable ground also impacted production rates.
It was an incredibly mixed bag of ground that didn't allow a real consensus of opinion the entire time. We had to have the ground classified for us every step of the way because every classification required different types of spacing for our steel sets, whether we use spiling or not. So it was a real challenge, it really was.
The tunnel is a vital component of the distribution system that conveys fresh water from the Sierra Nevada mountains to 2.6 million San Francisco Bay Area customers. The design team designated conventional mining precisely because of the variable ground and the need to cross 7 secondary earthquake faults along the alignment.
They took a calculated evaluation of the whole tunnel alignment and figured out that it was not worth the risk to have the TBM, if it was going to be a TBM tunnel, get stuck along the earthquake faults, because that would be a drastic delay of the schedule, and it would amount to a tremendous cost to the project.
Despite the challenges, there were no work stoppages due to labor issues or injuries, and excavation ends with the relationship between the client and the contractor intact.
It was a very good relationship between all parties here, and I'd really like to congratulate the whole team because it was a real team effort.
I've never seen such a dedicated group of hard workers who stuck it out no matter what the hardships they encountered inside the tunnel.
Honest to God, I couldn't be more proud of a group of men that tried so hard. They learned their tasks, they learned how to produce in the ground, they learned how to be safe. We had no major injuries on this job. These men can walk out of here and they can go to any tunnel anywhere in the world and be able to mine successfully.
On assignment in Northern California, Paula Wallace for TunnelTalk.com.